All right, y'all know how we do, man. Always pushing health, wealth, better understanding the self, and giving praise to the Most High. So we got, y'all see the title on the thumbnail, man. We got another Sanford, a Florida situation. Y'all know on this channel we've been going over lately a lot of the politics that's been going on in the Black community, but we also got a lot this week coming up. I'm gonna be pushing a lot out. Got the Diddy trial coming up. Just got a lot of news that is interesting this week. So make sure y'all tap in. Y'all know YouTube been playing with my channel. So make sure y'all hit that like button for me. Push me on the algorithm. It's like I review a channel where somebody is speaking on politics and they still playing on my channel. But check it. And this one I'm going over these in Florida, the white men that broke the black kids' windows. They harassed them for driving in the city. I'm gonna go over that. I'm gonna go over Tim Black. Shout out to Taylor House Publishing. He been going hard. But without further ado, let's get it started. I'm gonna wait a little bit so people can get tapped in. I appreciate everybody. Taylor House Publishing really be going hard. Shout out to Tim Black, man, introvert rock star. We got a lot of people going in, but check it. I'm gonna go over these two white dudes bullying the community. Let's get it.
52-year-old Donald Corsi and 61-year-old Howard Hughes face criminal charges after deputies say they attacked two teenage boys who were driving through their Lake Forest neighborhood in Sanford Tuesday night.
Right here, buddy. Right here. Tell them what you were doing.
This cell phone video of the confrontation was recorded by 16-year-old Jermaine Jones, who had been driving the white Mercedes. He had a 15-year-old passenger, and according to the teens, they were headed to a friend's house to spend the night when the two men yelled at them for speeding. After the teens turned the car around to leave the area, they say the men forced them to stop and attacked.
Burning out, racing through my neighborhood. Burning out, racing through my neighborhood.
Not to. I'm not in your face. Get out of my neighborhood.
The teens say the men dented their car with a traffic cone and threw a rock through the back window. The arrest affidavit also says Hughes used the cone to hit one of the teens in the stomach. Jones's parents told West 2 News over the phone, while their son admits he was speeding, the men had no right to attack.
They could have simply called the police. They could have done anything, but the audacity of them to think that they could just do what they wanted to do because it's their neighborhood, is what they said. Get out of my neighborhood.
Jones's parents have obtained an attorney and want the men to face more serious charges.
I personally was appalled and disgusted. I cannot believe that in 2022 that grown men would treat a child this way.
Man, she said 2022.
I really couldn't believe it.
All right, peace and blessings. Peace.
So check this out, though. My thing is that they charged her with the lesser charge, but still, I feel like they broke the window. They hit him. I mean, he gonna show more of it. Let him cook, man. Shout out to
and blessings, all praises to the Most High. Matthew 18:6 says, "Whosoever will offend one of these little ones, it'll be better for a millstone to be tied around their neck and them cast into the sea so that they may drown." And that scripture definitely applies to these evil Neanderthals. 55-year-old men, Donald Corsi and Howard Hughes, who you saw in the video.
Now, this is what we need to be. You know, it's a shame that we don't got our brothers that's on the streets handling and having our back business like that. Back when Fred Hampton them was the Black Panther Party, man, they would have had, everybody would have been in the streets. They would have been scared to come outside.
Video down in Sanford, Florida, attacking our young brother right here, Jermaine Jones. Now I'm going to show you another video of Jermaine talking and explaining what happened in this video. But if you are familiar with Sanford, Florida, that is the same place where our brother Trayvon Martin lost his life over 13 years ago. And you see from the video that these young men were driving a fairly nice car, Mercedes-Benz, and they were attacked. The media called it a confrontation, but they were attacked by these adults, these minors, a 16 and a 15-year-old kid driving through the neighborhood, having a rock. They're saying it was a rock, but
it looked like a brick. They threw a brick through the window. He recording the whole thing. Now, if they would have, think about it, they would have defended themselves. If they would have probably, been licensed to carry and wanted to do something, I probably felt threatened. We know that they don't want us defending ourselves pretty much at all. They don't want us defending ourselves. If we defend ourselves, it's gonna be they're gonna charge us with the highest crime. But let Taylor Publishing cook.
I don't think a rock is going to do that much damage to that window. Go back and watch that video. That is not a rock. That looks like a brick or a cement boulder that's launching a projectile through that window. And one of the children were struck with the guy by a cone. Now, the children are so young that they had to blur their faces out. That is how, and this happened, mind you, June 17, 2022. Now, I've scoured the internet. I cannot find anything about these men being convicted on those charges. And you will hear from this video that you're about to see that they pled not guilty. Just watch this, how after 2 months, this happened in June. This video right here is from August of that same year, 2022. And the family of Jermaine is begging and pleading for them to upgrade the charges. Just check this out.
Not enough. The family of a black teen who says that he was attacked by 2 white men in Sanford last month is calling for those men to face more serious charges. 16-year-old Jermaine.
So y'all see when Case and Allison stabbed the kids up in the school, he got the lesser charge. Out there in Mississippi, when that kid, when the man hit, I think it was I forget the kid's name, but a 10-year-old kid got unalived. They give him the lesser charge. It seems like the two-tier justice system always award the right complexion with the lowest charge anytime they get charged. I seen a white woman run over 4 kids out there, and I think it was Texas. She don't even get charged. Kills kids. I don't know how to homicide, but our brother right over there ran over the police officer and they charged him. Yeah, that's what shout out to DM. That's what Trayvon from. But anytime they get, or anytime anything happens to them, they get the lesser charge. It's like the system already awards them with the lesser charge, and us, we get the high charge with whatever it is. But let me let them cook, man.
Jermaine Jones, his parents and their attorneys say that they met with the state attorney's office inside the courthouse today. As West 2's Anika Hope explains, the family says the men's charges do not reflect the situation.
Get out of my neighborhood.
16-year-old Jermaine Jones recorded this video of Donald Corsi and Howard Hughes last month in Lake Forest. According to a report, Donald Corsi threw a rock through Jones' car window to stop the car because it was going fast. Thursday, Jones' family met with the state attorney's office and a victim's advocate. They said while both men were arrested, the charges were far from enough.
We believe that if it is a racial situation, that the state attorney's investigation will show that. But if it's not, if the evidence does not prove that, we believe that this is a 16-year-old who is going about his daily life, and regardless of what his color is, no group of adults should act this way towards a 16-year-old.
The attorneys would not say which exact charges they want to see, but they said they also plan to file a civil lawsuit. The Jones weighed in on whether they think race played a role.
I think it may have played a factor in it, but regardless, I still feel like what they did was wrong. It doesn't matter what color anyone's skin is. The fact that there's a 16-year-old child, I just don't think it was right what they did.
Especially because the lady in the video, she told me that I was the one that would get a gun.
You're the one that would get a gun. Get out of this neighborhood.
She only said that because of the color of my skin. I don't think that if I was white, she would have even mentioned anything like that.
Is he threatening you with the gun?
Yeah, she's talking about he has a license to carry it.
Okay, but do you see the gun?
Oh, he put it away now.
See how they gotta question us, bro? Like, do you see the gun? Like, you know, if somebody else, it's like it's a code already.
Corsi was charged with damaging property and weapon offense into a vehicle. Hughes on damaging property and battery. Both pled not guilty. In a statement, an Orlando McDonald's franchise owner confirmed Howard Hughes is no longer employed by them. Quote, "We are deeply disturbed and disappointed by what we've seen in this video." The state attorney's office said they're still reviewing the case. They're expected to present formal charges at the men's arraignment next month.
So, just like everything, just like with that Carmelo case, we got to be looking out for that because they don't get charged. Anything that they commit, they don't get the highest charge. They're gonna get the least charge. They can do the most heinous crime, and it's just a two-tier justice system. And I just think it always been like that. It's gonna always be like that until we actually, change something. But they always gonna do that. But I want to shed light on this case. I'm in Florida, so I understand how Florida go. You like Florida is a racist shell. Man, we get stories from the whole South, man. It's like, and I don't think, it ain't like this happen all the time, but it is, these instances happen, but bro, it's happening throughout the South, period. But that don't mean people should have to pack up and leave from where they from because they scared of somebody. Now I'm gonna show you somebody who did. Some people feel like, you know what, man, I'm gonna leave and go somewhere else, and actually see how it is. Sometimes you gotta stand on what you believe in and have it go from there. But check this out. I'm gonna show y'all somebody that got up and left America. They was like, you know what? This ain't working out. Let me move from down south. Let me move from down here and see how this works. But let me show y'all this. Shout out to Tim Black for covering this. It was a lot of people covering this, but check this out.
Sitting here in Africa and deal with the bullshit robbery, the bullshit fraud, the bullshit scams.
I'm sorry, but that sister mad right now. That Christian black woman that be emailing me, she mad right now. Look, I don't consider that word a curse word. It's unsavory, but it's not a curse word because if you was on a farm, you could step in some of that. Yeah, if it exists in the real world, I don't consider it derogatory because let's keep going, Johnson. But yeah, she mad, man.
The bullshit too expensive. The bullshit not having no snacks. The bullshit not having no food.
You ain't got no other words you can use? They probably charge you because you keep on saying BS.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector. Yeah, my only question about this video is, sister, you ain't do no checking around before you went down there? Like, you ain't the first video I seen where people was like, yo, Africa, it ain't all it's cracked up to be. Yeah, I saw a number of videos of people that went to Africa and they was like, they looking at me like I'm something to eat. Yeah, you ain't the only one. I'm just wondering, like, if I move to like Atlanta, I check it out first. If I move to like, I don't know, Seattle, Washington, Boston, Massachusetts, Catlett, Virginia, I check it out first. I mean, I check it out. But if I move my ass to another country,
Yeah.
another continent, I send scouts.
Massachusetts, definitely.
Yeah. I have a tour guide, scouts.
Massachusetts, definitely. I like that love that you put up. You put New York in there for, man, the South is, I mean, but we in America, bro. The history of America is crazy though. But that Africa experience, Africa experience was funny as hell. They ran into all kinds of BS out there in Ghana. Yeah, man. I'm telling you. Everybody was interested when they was talking about Ghana back, I think it was a couple years ago. And to get caught up like that, to go over there, it's hard to go check it out first with that long flight. But
everything.
And they got everybody talking about, oh man, you get free citizenship and all of this. Yeah, they
for a week. I get a hotel, stay there a couple of weeks. I walk around at night. Because Africa probably different at night than it is in daytime. You don't mean no harm, it just seemed like you didn't plan well. But let's keep going, guys. Check this out. Let's go. I don't mean to.
The bullshit electricity, the bullshit hot water, the bullshit, what's that shit called that be coming down?
Hey, I can't even play this video, man. It's Friday, y'all.
You finna get us back. You finna get us unmonetized.
Hey, man, she said this 20 times. That's how desensitized I am. I didn't even realize it was a bad video to play. If I bleep this, you wouldn't know what she's talking about. She'd be like, the water, beep. Cicadas, beep.
That was just a bad reputation.
Electricity, beep. It would be that you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know the context.
The bullshit animals is scorpions outside the house. It's big ass spiders. It's big ass lizards. Colorful lizards you ain't never seen before. All in the fucking room.
Hey, come on, man. All right, I'm gonna try to.
As for me, I'm ready to go. And I always used to say, if it's up to me, it will be. And I'm going to go out to Africa and make shit happen. No, I don't want to. I want to take my businesses back to America. I want to open up shop back in America, open up my dentist office and all the stuff that I was going to do out here in America. Steady electricity. And the only time our electricity get cut off is when we don't pay the bill. And we got it so good now, we got prepaid electricity. So if we forget to pay the bill, we put some money on that prepaid thing and it comes right back on in 2 minutes. In less than 2 minutes. This shit right here, they come on for 14 hours yesterday. I can't deal. I love the people. Don't get me wrong. When I'm outside, I'm having fun. I love the people. But when I come back to reality, when you come back home, home is where the heart is, right? When you come back home, you're supposed to feel comfortable. You're supposed to be happy. I'm not happy. To live in a house where you look outside and all you see is turkeys and ducks and chickens and.
But the funny part of me said, she said ain't no snacks. Now she looked like she eating good. But when she talked about them snacks, man, I said, man,
sheep and old malnourished cows.
Tim Black's BS.
Lord have mercy. Look, man. I don't mean no harm, y'all. I don't mean no harm at all. I don't mean no harm. I just say, man, Jesus Christ. Look, man, this will not be in the travel brochure for Africa. She didn't tell us where in Africa she went. Africa is a continent. Is that not? What is that? Where'd she go? Is that the Congo or Sudan or
where she went?
West Africa, East Africa? Is that the Congo?
Let me know what y'all think, man. How much they gotta pay you? How much you gotta make out there, man, for you to move out to Africa? How much they gotta pay you for you to say, look, man, I'm going, man. They paying this much, I'm going. The Doge talking about the South has a substantial amount of freedom. We on the Northeast coast have now took notice of many of us fleeing down there and destroying your Southern hospitality, though with Yankee culture. Yeah, man. I mean, Florida done turned into New York, man. You know, where I'm from, Fort Lauderdale, even if you look at like Broward County, Miami, all that, they building skyscrapers now. They building up. It's like, it's turning into New York City. You know what I'm saying? So the East Coast is not the East Coast right now, bro. It's like, you know, it's a lot of up north people in Florida. People don't understand how much it is, but bro, it is a lot of up north people in Florida. You still got your original Floridians, but it done turned into, you know, I'm meeting people from all, you know, Connecticut, Canada, New York. They moving down here, man. Florida became, and it's Texas too, but Florida and Texas became the hot spot for everybody up north that don't want to pay taxes. They get older and they move down here.
Compton area of, you know, is that Southeast Africa? I don't know. Berry Farms, Africa? Like where is that Landover Road, Africa? I don't know. She ain't give us no information that we could be, you know, better adjust our travel arrangements. You know, you could be planning to go to the same place. She ain't give us enough information. All she told us about was BS this and the BS that. Now, I did want to give y'all some information that was relevant that would help you a little bit here. Let's see if I got it. I looked it up on Grok. Let's see on Grok. Median household income for Black Nigerian is estimated to be $9,843, significantly lower than Black Americans, which is $52,000.
So she went over there, but I'm saying it's a reason why they moving to Florida, though. What I feel like they moving down here to Florida. Ain't nobody from New York saying they moving to Africa. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. So you get a lot of people coming down here to Texas and Florida, I think, for a reason. I mean, the weather is great. You know, it is a little bit of, you know, it's a little bit of crime, but it's not crime like they portray on the internet. But nope, yeah. They ain't going from New York to Africa, you know. So that's a reason. A lot of people, I think it's probably more people coming from Africa here than it is people going from America to Africa. What y'all think? But it ain't for me, man. I can't, you know, I don't, it's too much land. It's too much stuff we got to get right here for what our ancestors fought for us to just let it slide. So Nigerian median household income is 9,000. Black American is 52.
South Africa. Now, say she's in South Africa. South Africa is even worse. They got a higher GDP than Nigeria. Oh, that's why they be scamming. Nigeria be struggling. That's what Tariq be talking about. And whether people be tethering. It's money over here compared to Black South Africans' median household income is around $7,452. Black Americans outperform this significantly. Let's go to the Caribbean. Jamaica. Jamaica per capita is $5,600. Bahamas, one of the wealthier Caribbean nations with GDP capita $31,000. But race-specific data is scarce. Black Bahamians likely have higher incomes than most African populations, but still lag behind Black Americans. Let's go to Europe, guys. Let's go to UK. Black Britons, often of African or Caribbean descent, have a median household income of $24,000 to $30,000 US dollars, lower than Black Americans at $52,000. Friends. You know, man, I never cared for the French.
Yeah. Looking at the numbers, but I mean, he's just talking about the average. Now, if you got a play or you know, whatever career you in, if you can make it happen and be, you know, making 200,000-300,000, I don't think, you know, if you're making 50,000 here and you can make 250 in another country, I think a lot of people gonna take that. So if you can make 250 in another country, in another place, and you making 50 here, would you go make that 250, or would you stay for the 50 because you know you come? That's the real question. How much money will it take? How much money will it take for you to be like, yeah, man, I gotta go get this bag? In my opinion.
You know what I'm saying? When I'm watching the movie, like they trick you on Netflix. Sometimes I see that little Sundance label, I'll be like, hey. And when I want to watch the movie, I don't want to read. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes them accents be a little heavy for me.
Avatar.
But whenever I see one of them little Sundance things, like
Avatar, appreciate you tapping in, man. Y'all know I'm gonna have everything ready for tomorrow, man. I'm just closing it up. Let me let Tim Black. But that's crazy. I ain't know all the money.
This was these people from over there, not America. I'll be like, man, I don't know if I want to watch this. And if it's France, click. Yeah, if it's French, click. That's just, I'm not always ready for the man action. You know, it's like everything French I've ever seen has that. Do what you want to do, but don't surprise me. It should be in the title or the description. It should say, you know, it's gonna have some stuff, some LG, you know, just tell me. Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm saying I don't like to be surprised. You know, I got kids, man, watching the movie, and then as soon as that come on, that's when the kids come in. Pop, hey, pop. That's when my 3-year-old want to run in. That's what it is. All on the wall, just because we use a projector. So all on the boop. I got off topic, didn't I? So Trump called that's called the glide. That's called the weave. He said weave. That's it. It's the weave. So French, they have lower than national averages. They're around 20,000. Let's go to Brazil. Black Brazilians face significant economic disparities, with median wealth lower than Black Americans at 27,000 to 44,000. Black communities are disproportionately poor. That's why they only show you the light-skinned Brazilians. They show you the Black Brazilians, they in the back cooking. The ones in front of the house, that's the cute ones you see all the time with nothing on, just, hey. Very light-skinned ones. Okay, what about Canada? People say Canada's not that bad. Canada's supposed to be great. Canadians have a median income of about 29,000 USD.
Make the play.
Lower than Black Americans' wealth.
Straight up, I heard it's nice.
Black Americans' median household income is 52,000. Per capita, 21 to 23. Median wealth, 27 to 44.90. Black Bohemians, Black Britons, Black Canadians, Black South Africans, Black Nigerians, other African and Caribbeans. So she might be in one of the other African and Caribbeans that are low. So are Black Americans very successful? Well, if you compare us to whites and Asians now in America, but if you start comparing us to other Black people on the globe, you'd be like, go ahead with your bad self. You.
I didn't know that in the Bahamas, they kind of, you know, the average is 31,000. That's kind of close, bro. They the closest, which, so he said. But Canada ain't, Canada ain't nothing, bro.
Go ahead with your bad self. Yeah, so part of the problem is she didn't know she was the filet mignon Black in America. And now she's bam. And to those people that's over there, if they thinking that you know, come from America and you got all the paper, America's got paper, they look at you like you something to eat, boy. They be like, you be like, hey, how you doing? They be like, doing all right. You know, when you see a sister or a brother doing like this, We all good.
My baby
How
mama
you
from
doing?
Jamaica. I'm good, bro.
When you see them looking at you like that, that's that because they want to be friends.
Hey,
Even the babies in Africa be looking at us like that when we come over there. Be like, man, this is great. I'm around all these black people. Look at all these black people. Even the baby be in a high chair, like in the stroller like this. I don't want to discourage anybody from going back to Africa. Well, going to Africa for the first time.
Yeah.
But I will say, do your research. Don't be like this sister, man. That's gotta suck, man. You go to Africa and you expecting things to work out, and you want to go back from Africa.
What's up, family?
Perfect. You made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you. Now,
Appreciate you for tapping in, Pocahontas. For real, man. We just kicking it tonight. What's good with y'all? So, yeah, we was just talking about in Florida. You know, it could be in the South in America. It's crazy, but if you go aboard, the amount of the decrease in funds or the money that you can make is like crazy, you know, unless you go there with something. But you can see why everybody trying to rush over here. The thing to do is set up an import export. You right, bro. Because think about it like this. You right on that. That's something I gotta put in the chat. You said something when you just said that, bro. Because think about it like this. Our American dollar is so much further. We need to be imported from other places, bro. You know, it gotta be. William, what's good, family? You just said something right there, Ray said. We gotta be importing. Our dollars is just too much. It go too far. So for us to be buying stuff, who guarding the gate? What's up, Mickey? So you guarding the gate. Mickey, what's good? Yeah, y'all, like, I'm with you on that, though. Raise head. I'm with you on that. Like, that import-export is definitely, we got to get into that. Because we spend our money here, it'll probably go so much further. But this was good information to know how much people are making, you know, average in other countries. And why we looking like, you know, we looking like chicken sandwiches when we go over there. We looking like a full course meal. But y'all know I did a video on that Cincinnati police officer. The Chinese East Indians have taken up our spot. Man, I got a video I got prepped, bro, where in China it was actually black people. That was just crazy. I found that out. East Indians have taken up our spot. Yeah, they got the most, bro. If you Chinese and you from over there, it's like it's easier for you to import, export, distribution, equity, income. I'm saying it's big money in that though. Just like you said, import, export. That's something we gotta be on, family. Cause this our lane here, or we gotta manufacture here and be shipping stuff out. 1 USD in Jamaica is what? Yeah, it's a reason why they migrate here. It's definitely a reason. But it's tough for them even coming here, bro. It ain't that easy for them to come here and get it going. But he put $1 US is 158 Jamaican GMD. Right. But I'm hearing China own a lot of Jamaica, bro. Like these countries, man, going over to these countries too, and they owning stuff. Like they said, China own like half of Jamaica, man. Which is crazy. But even in Africa too, they say that. So shout out to Mickey on the mic, man. We need you, Mickey. But
Thank you so much. We are leading the way on that breaking news today. Cincinnati police sharing new details about a chase that led to a...
Now, I know I say this on every video when y'all be like, damn, Raw, you be saying this every time. Bro, can y'all give me a reason why every video I watch of the news and they got to have two nationalities, black and white? Like, gosh, it's like it never fails. This is to let you know the news ain't right, bro. The news ain't right.
Suspect being shot and killed by police over in East Price Hill.
The mayor and Cincinnati's police chief sharing body camera video of the incident. WLWT News 5's Danielle Dindak heard from Chief Thigi directly. Danielle, what did that video show?
Yeah, Stephen, this all unfolded very, very quickly. We're talking about 6 seconds from the time that officer got out of his vehicle until he shot and killed that armed suspect. So I want to have you take a look at some of this video as I explain to you what Chief Thigi broke down for us today. So she said this all started with a stolen Kia out of Edgewood, Kentucky that was spotted at the complex on Warsaw Avenue. When officers arrived, they saw 4 suspects take off running. Thigi said officers took different suspects to follow. One suspect was armed with a gun, and at one point, with officers saying he did hit the ground and that gun hit the ground. That person then ran between the dumpsters, and officers yelled out that that person had a gun. Another officer who was chasing another person at the time came in contact with that armed suspect, and that's when that officer fired off 4 to 5 shots. That man was hit twice and then was given medical care right away, but he did die. Officers did find a gun on him with an extended magazine and another in his pocket.
Now, it just don't make sense to me why if somebody is running from you, how the heck they going how you gonna think that they trying to your life is in danger? That's never happened before. So they said the father watched the video of the son getting that same day, and then you know, his brakes on the car weren't working one day, and you know, he ran over the police officer. And that's how he fighting the case in court, saying it was, you know, his brakes wasn't working. Didn't see him. It was an accident. If y'all don't know, it was an accident out there, and it was an accident where a white lady killed. I'm gonna pull that up. She killed 3 kids, bro. She didn't even get arrested. I kid you not, bro. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. But yeah, man, the brother was probably trying to head somewhere. The brakes, you know, his brakes went out and accident.
Unfortunately, this is a potential outcome when you interact with police and you are armed with a weapon, whether it's an edged weapon, a firearm, or if you fail to comply, you're armed and you fail to comply with what an officer says. This is where we end up. And it is unfortunate.
No, this is not where we end up. There's no way you came out busting at that kid when that kid was running away. See, they just try to protect each other. This is a gang. So when they got to get on this social media and get on the internet, they're going to cover for their people 100%. So they don't care if they wrong, right, or indifferent. They're going to cover for them.
It is preventable, and no officer wants to go through this. I don't want families to go through this, but at the end of the day, we have to provide the safest city that we can provide.
Now, Thigi did go on to say that during an interview, the officer said that the suspect pointed a gun at him and he did feel threatened, for his life. Now, we also learned that there was another stolen gun found in that stolen car. Lots to unpack here, and we'll have much more coming up for you later on at 4, 5, and 6. Reporting live, Danielle Dindak, WLWT News 5.
Danielle Dindak leading the way for us on this story. Danielle, thank you so much. Now, there were other suspects involved here. 2 of them in that stolen vehicle were eventually apprehended, and they made their first court appearances this morning. Jarrell Austin and DeAnthony Bullocks are accused of receiving stolen property and obstructing official business. A 4th person is still on the run. Austin is being held on a $50,000 bond. Bullock's bond is set at $40,000.
Y'all better know that, boy. These people, boy, they trying to shoot you. Comply as a dog whistle. They is trying to shoot, bro. They don't like running. You know he was big. They don't like chasing you. They get mad when you run. because they got to chase you down. You know they ain't in shape. They eat donuts and drink coffee all day. They don't like chasing black people, bro. They'll rather shoot you down. But that was the body cam footage. But check out how they.
The separate session of the Hamilton County Municipal Court is now in session. Judge Tyrone Yates is presiding this morning. We ask that you turn off
Real,
all cell
man.
phones. You may be
Appreciate
seated.
you, real. I can't
Please
wait till
remain
we get
quiet
back
during
on
all
business, man.
proceedings.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We got to get back on the business. You heard?
Good morning. Morning.
First case load
Okay. Thank you.
Now y'all peep. And I don't like to always bring this about race, right? But I just observe things. And if you look at how they use the black officer as the one that opens the door for him, brings him in, escorts him out. Now I don't know if she like, let me protect, bro. But you don't see too much of us standing on that wall, standing at the dude crazy. Even if it's a dude right here, they get a woman. She don't look at him like everybody else. She in the cut. Check this out. We got a black lady right here. She gonna bring him in. All the other guys are white and he mad. Like, you know, the other women in there is treating this guy like he, you know, treating him regular. Check this out. They got the head down. Yeah, word.
Good morning, Mr. Hinton. Good morning. He said good morning.
Now, this is what you call standing on real business. If y'all see how he walk out there, he look them in their face, you know, because they want to, this is some gang activity. They want to stand up and show everybody like they a gang. See, they try to act like they, you know, this ain't no patrol for the community. This is gang activity.
Our judge is very soft spoken. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Anything as to probable cause?
Yeah, we'll waive probable cause this morning. I have submitted designations for John Kennedy and Timothy Bignell. They will be the attorneys of record handling Mr. Hinton's case. I'll be handling the arraignment this morning.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Prosecutor, or anything as to
as to bond, Your Honor. Thank you. Your Honor, we understand this is a very, very serious, very terrible charge that Mr. Hinton is facing. He has a risk, but he does not have a history, Judge. He has no felonies in his record.
No history. You know y'all done pissed off this man, bro. You see the accident got his face kind of messed up. But watch how he walk out here, bro. He don't walk out with he ain't holding no head down.
First assessment score was a 1. He had a juvenile record. He works at BDF. He's married. He's a father.
Blessings, California, man. What?
Purcell Marion.
Brother.
I understand that this is an emotionally charged situation. I understand that Mr. Hinton's son may have been killed by the police earlier in the week. There was a review of that video. I understand that there is a lot of sadness and a lot of anger in this room right now, but in the community.
Hey, my brakes stopped working. I was driving, man. My brakes went out. You look, I ain't want to hurt myself. You know, just for him to fight this case, right? It's an accident.
I would just ask the court to set a reasonable bond in light of everything to allow the constitutional process to play out.
All right. Thank you. Andy, you've given me pre-trial services sheet. Is that right this morning? All right, the court has had a chance to review that and his past history. Is there anything from the state that's to be prosecuted?
Yes, Your Honor. Ryan Nelson on behalf of the
Could you
prosecution.
give us more volume, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Ryan Nelson on behalf of the prosecution. What we believe that the evidence will show is that yesterday, on or about the 2nd of May, the defendant was traveling, I believe, to be eastbound on Martin Luther King Avenue at MLK, I believe at Burnett Woods at the intersection, I believe immediately north to the rear entrance of the University of Cincinnati. The defendant stops his car. The defendant, in a way that was calculated and premeditated, lined up his car, deliberately accelerated his car, and purposely caused the death of an on-duty deputy sheriff who was doing a detail at that intersection. As such, we are going to be seeking indictment for aggravated murder, and we would request, in accordance with ORC 2937-222, for a no bond hearing. That rule requires that hearing be set within 3 business days, so we are seeking to set that date on the 6th of May of 2025, next Tuesday.
And then he showed
Weeks after the mysterious deaths of twin brothers from Gwinnett County,
They didn't
family
show him
says they
walking
have
out,
seen new
man.
surveillance video that changes everything.
So the video shows
it was just him
The
walking
separate
out.
session of the Hamilton.
It was just him walking out, and they was, it was just mugging him, looking at him. Yeah, go right here, him walking out. Check this out.
So the court will now set no bond until Tuesday, when we'll review the statute for continuing no bond under these unusual and very tragic and terrible circumstances. Where will the defendant be housed, and will he be safe? And I ask that because
Yeah, it was the same officer that shot his son. So that's why they like, yeah, we ain't, this was deliberate. But I'm gonna show y'all a video of somebody running over kids, and they didn't take him to jail.
he was transferred, as I understand it, to Clermont County yesterday.
That's correct.
On my order.
That's correct.
And will he be returned to Clermont County until Tuesday?
It's our understanding. We'll be returning.
And you have a safe environment for him there in Clermont County?
Yes, sir.
You'll return him on Tuesday, May the 6th at 8:30 a.m. for a hearing at 9 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, for the record, we'd ask the court to put a bond on him now, but we understand that so not a bond hearing is going to request.
All right, no bond.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we can hold him at no bond for 72 hours,
Yes,
is that right?
Yes, correct.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much.
Got a white dude. You see him? Like, that's crazy, man. It's a son, man. So that's how he walked out.
No, thank you.
They gonna get, they gonna try to pull something on him in prison. But this is gang life, This is gang life. But I'm gonna show y'all this. Check this out. This lady here, no charges got brought up on her. And she did it to kids. Check this out.
Tonight, new details in a small town's senseless tragedy.
They had a car run through a building, and they're saying there's quite a few people injured. The building contained children.
Police identifying 44-year-old Marianne Akers as the driver who plowed a car through the Why Not after-school camp Monday afternoon in Chatham, Illinois, south of Springfield. They say 4 students were killed, including 7-year-old Alma Bunner-Kempe. Yay! Her mom calling Alma a ray of sunshine who loved playing soccer, basketball, and doing gymnastics. While 8-year-old Ainsley Grace Johnson's dad telling NBC News her nickname was Squirt. She was larger than life and will forever leave a void in our broken hearts. State police say 6 more kids were injured, 1 still in critical condition. Look at these tire tracks here. According to police, Akers left the road, drove through this massive field, across the street here, and then crashed clear through the camp just behind me.
The back of the building had been blown out. There was insulation, debris everywhere.
Taylor Godwin lives next door and saw the aftermath.
I turned to the left, and unfortunately, there was a dead child. So
You saw a dead child.
yes, every single one of those families now has said goodbye to their kid for the last time. Entire life just gone.
Police say it does not appear to be a targeted attack and that Akers is not in custody as the cause of the crash remains under investigation. They're awaiting toxicology results. Until 2022, she was a food service employee at the local school district. NBC News has reached out to Akers, but has not yet heard back.
It is just horrible, Maggie. Police are still trying to nail down why this happened.
So that's just, food for thought right there. They'd investigated, but I know with this man's son, you see what I'm saying? I understand the man's son got taken out, but I think definitely it may be, seeing all the cases like this, but knowing that that was a police officer, it happened to a kid, and they ain't had as much outrage and wanted to figure out who it is. They just felt like it wasn't intentional. But a lady just ran a car into the school, taking out some kids, and fortunately, that's cool, But you do it to a police officer, you're gonna get the eyes charged. So, condolences to everybody who lost their life in that. But our justice system is just is broken. It's broken, man. But I mean, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, man. I feel like dude wanted to handle justice in his own. He felt like the man killed his son, so. It's deep. That's deep. But that's what I wanted to pull up and show y'all, man, that it's people out here ramming over kids. And shoot, if you got the right complexion, man, you're gonna get the right protection. I tell you that much. And we don't like to hit on everything with race, but we just be bringing up these. It's good conversation to have to see what the people think. But yeah, I covered some stories this week, man. I wanted y'all let y'all see this. That the biggest one I had was that lady. The lady with the who called the young dude the N-word. She done raised $600,000 for that. So I'm now thinking that this was some kind of plan for you to raise that much money that fast. Is like kind of crazy to me. What y'all think? 600,000 for just saying that to a kid? And I don't know if she put it's not broken. It works the way the folks set it up to work, right? Yeah, it definitely worked the way. Yeah, it's broken. It's broken to us, but. If that would have been anybody black, and they would have ran into a school and took out 4 kids, they would have been arrested and they would have had to prove their innocence, in my opinion. I was shocked to say that she wasn't in custody. Like, she rolled completely on the grass for at least 40 to 50 yards. I'm like, my gosh, bro. You can see the tracks where she's literally driving up. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you ain't gonna have a police officer standing in the courtroom looking all tough with that. They ain't gonna be doing that because they only focus on gang life, in my opinion. But yeah, y'all, we coming through, man. Nikki said it's not broken. It's not broken, but yeah, it's been a story a lot of people been covering. A lot of people been covering that story, but I mean, it is what it is, man. But he definitely crashed out. But YouTube has definitely been playing with me. But what y'all think about the case, man? What you think about? Do you think they're gonna charge the lady? Yeah, 50 police in the courtroom, bro. It's like that don't look. I mean, y'all not looking like y'all community patrolmen. Y'all look like y'all, repping a gang. And I feel like that ain't a good look for the community. So it's gonna bring more heat back on them and heat back on. It's a bad look for police officers. Yeah, she lost her job and they sent her $600,000. Like, this is crazy. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna let y'all see it, bro. They done raised $600K for this lady for her. She lost her job. No, she said she was getting threats, for what she said. The lady raises $600K. I'm like, I can't believe this. Well, let me show y'all this. Yeah, this lady raised this lady just raised $600,000, 500 plus. So, woman who appeared to hurl a racist slur at a child in the viral video has raised over $600,000 in donations for herself. Which is crazy. Shiloh Hendricks, the white woman who appeared to hurl a racist slur at black child in now a viral video, has raised over $600,000 in donations for herself on fundraising page. Hendricks appeared to call a 5-year-old child the N-word at a prank in Minnesota. And no, I ain't trying to sign up for y'all. And as attacked, and they may need to relocate. Hendricks appeared. She now claims her family has been attacked and they may need to relocate. The fundraising page, which initially flooded with donations from people expressing racist beliefs and sympathies, has raised over $600,000, surpassing its $50,000 goal. I think this is like a comeback. This is like a comeback to Carmelo Anthony. Video of Minnesota woman who has been since identified as Shiloh Hendricks began circulating on social media after she seemingly called the 5-year-old the N-word on the playground in Rochester on Monday, April 28th. So 600,000. That's crazy. She only wanted 50,000. Yeah, they trying to get that get back for the Carmelo. They gotta be. And they like, you know what? Let me send her the money. But this gotta be operation. I think this was an operation, bro. I don't think, to get that much money, you gonna start to see like that. That looks like where the new money at. Do something racist and the white people gonna send that check. They gonna send that check and support. For real. We need to do a controlled operation setting. I'm telling you. They gonna send that check. Yeah, send the money to her. They don't know they ain't gonna know it's gonna be a black person behind it. But that's how they can. We seeing that's how they sending money. They trying to get the get back for Carmelo. But that Carmelo case showed us. Yeah, they screaming we won. That Carmelo case showed us that we can put money together for causes now that we can do stuff with. That shows that we can get the people attention and really do some things, in my opinion, though. But this is crazy. She put nope, her car malfunction, case closed. White Voltron. That's what I'm saying, bro. You got the complexion for the protection, man. But shout out to Monroe, man, holding it down. Y'all know how we do. How fast did she get to 600K when the video dropped? Also, the video could be staged. Yeah, it's very suspect, bro. You know, I think it's an operation. Gotta be staged. It was a couple days, man. We talking about, you know how long it took for us to raise that money for Carmelo? We talking about on Monday, April 28th. Okay, so it wasn't that long ago. So it was probably like a week. After a week, man, that money came in like water. Money was flowing in. So it looked like a staged political event. I don't know, with these news media, I'm telling you, with these news media, I told y'all how they always put a black person and a white person right there in the media, right? So what I'm saying is they're all may be in cahoots, bro. The media, some stage actors. It's just to cause this big conflict. You know, as news media is getting paid, it just seems like they running some type of operation on us, for real. Maybe I think it's a play. You know, it's a story. And I think it's people out there, especially it's a lot of white money out there. That's why you see a lot of black people. They be taking stories and they want to push for the white racist people because it's a lot of money they making. You're going to get sponsors. They going to send you that money. It's a fat dude. I'm finna show y'all this dude. I calculated that this dude, he made probably like $300-400 just talking bad about Carmelo. Just in the chats. It's like, it's money into getting on a race war with racist white people, and you on their side, they gonna send you some money. Facts. And if you black, they gonna send you that money. Look at Officer Tatum, the Hodge twin. Man, these dudes be getting money. They don't be caring about all of that. But they definitely push, and I can't even say they pushing a race war, bro. I just feel like they want it to be like that. I think it's some kind of agenda with it, man. Trev told me the other day, it was like it's money. I mean, on the other video. What's up, Cat? Cat, you done changed your profile picture. What you got on there? Had to make sure that's you. Make sure we ain't got no pretender cat in there, but what's good, family? You tapped in. You caught us late. But yeah, not getting to them NDAs and getting the real business. We got that covered up. Y'all know we got that coming tomorrow, man. Black Lives Matter, how much? And none of it made it home. Yeah, Black Lives Matter was a play. She put it as me. Yeah, Black Lives Matter was a play. That was your boy. I can't, every time I say his name, GS, y'all know who I'm talking about, who was on top of the Black Lives Matter move. They will not run advertising on my video. Every time I say his name in a video, I push. It's like they turn my video yellow. Like every time I say dude name. But it's all good. But yeah, him. He ran that movement. So I think they just running plays out here, man. She put it is me. Cat done switched up. Cat, you can't be switching up your profile picture on us, man. What that is? It look kind of. I gotta check you out. Okay, she put your. I can't really read it, Cat, but it look like a woman with a bird on it. Yo, race head. He owned the joint. He owned all of that, bro. But oh what? Yeah, he owned YouTube probably. Every time I say his name, bro, in a video, it's just something happened with my channel where they don't want to pay. So I ain't saying his name no more. I'm gonna give him a coded name. Yeah, I'm gonna call him the Black Lives Matter owner, the BLM owner. No, but it looked like something, Cat, with the you got the bird with the lady on there. Shout out the Cat though, holding it down. Mickey Jones, we back, man. You got the wrench, like you said, Mickey. I done figured it out. Trail was telling me, man, click on the thing. I ain't know you had to be on YouTube. The Wizard of Oz. That's what I'm gonna call him, Racehead. You're right. I'm gonna call him the Wizard of Oz. So y'all know I'm not saying this man's name no more. Cause they don't play by his name. They hear his name on the video when they do their AI thing and they shut it down. So yeah, y'all know what it is. But hey, man, I like what you said, Racehead, about that import export. That's something I'm gonna put in the I'm gonna take notes and put that in the group, man. It sound like a play. All these people trying to run over here. I told you, talking code, your channel was heavily monitored. Yeah, I gotta start talking in code, man. Not saying too much, but my boy told me that every video, before you publish the video, they run through your whole video of what you're saying with an AI and any keywords that it catch, they pull it. Cause now, a month ago, 2 months ago, bro, if you look at my analytics, it will show you that probably 80% of my videos of the people who watch it was from people who wasn't subscribed. Now, 80 to 90% of my videos is all from people who subscribe. So I ain't really getting nobody else but from people who subscribe. And that's crazy. Because if you look at anybody else, other channel, they got a lot of people watching that's not subscribed. I couldn't call somebody a F. Yeah. Yeah, they got all kind of things going on, man. But I made that video. I made a video about him too. So I know they ain't like that. Yeah, we gotta make them code slang words. Cause they got that AI monitoring on the words. Shadow ban. Yeah. Gotta get me out of jail. Trying to get out of jail, but that's just crazy. The numbers like that. I'm like, dang. Now only the people who subscribe to my channel is watching and they send that to. I don't get it ain't getting sent to nobody. It's like 90%. But it used to be the other way around. Like you used to normally just have people who are, when your channel grow, you get the same people that's watching, and then you get other people that they just checking out your channel. Last couple months, it's just been only the people who rocking with me. Only us. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm gonna definitely start switching up the code. Yeah, man. Community building, I'm telling you. They don't want that to reach out talking about community building and all of that, because it's 2025 and we getting a lot of advance, and people don't understand, like, we real close. Like, everybody done came in with this, with FBA and trying to stick together and trying to put our money together. So it's like, you got to control these people. Trev said, I'm shadow banned also. Probably, Trev, you shadow banned because of me, brother. I'm sorry, bro. I apologize to you, brother. You done brought me on your channel, man, talking all that. Man, I done got my boy locked up too, man. Damn. My bad, Trev, bro. You done had me on, bro, and I'm talking straight from the heart. Passion. Don't have no care. They locked my brother up too. Like, yeah, you want to rock with Water God TV? We're going to get you too. You rock with him? I'm getting you too, man. Yeah, Trev, my bad, bro. I ain't mean for you to fall with me, bro. They go do all your cards. They don't care if you ain't even talking about black topics. You just had me on the show talking reckless, and they like, yeah, get him too. Trev Jackson, get him. We all shadow banned. Great name for a new channel, for real. I'm telling you, Trev, bro, you had me on there. They like, oh yeah, you want to rock with Water God? Yeah, we gonna shoot you too. Man, Trev be on a little bit of everything, bro. He be on some music. I be going overboard, bro. I be going overboard. I should have held tight, but especially when Trev get on with me, then he really go in too. He be going in. But yeah, man, I done got bro shadow banned, bro. He said we all shadow banned. Great name for a new channel, for real. The shadow band. You right. It is what it is, though, man. They gonna uplift it. They control it, so yeah, he be saying some real stuff over there too, for sure. But Trail, I finally found how to put that wrench in there. Back from Cali, we gonna link up next weekend for sure, man. We ain't gonna let them hold us back, brother. We gotta keep it moving. But yeah, y'all, we in the group chat, man, trying to put things together, man. We're trying to get some real money. Self-preservation is key. Oh, I did see that, Trail. I'm glad you said that. Peyton Jackson. Let me get that on there. You hit with that. Was it at the meeting? When she said, just did a video on her. She said she black, not Democrat. Let me check that out. I'm gonna pull it up right now.
The Jackson Podcast.
What's popping with y'all today, man? I got a dope conversation about this viral moment from this young lady named Peyton Jackson. So she is running for the U.S. House District 33 candidate. And she was speaking at a city council meeting in Fort Worth, Texas. And she had a very viral moment, man. She said, I was born black, not Democrat. So, as of recently, the Democratic Party has just
Might as well, fam.
disintegrated, man. I don't even see Democrats speaking out in public platforms no more. I don't see them even saying anything. Kamala Harris lost, and when she lost, a lot of people just fell to the wayside. And I would like to speak to somebody that's still representing the Democratic Party and have them on my platform and tell me how they're doing.
The Democrat Party, bruh, it's bad. It's worse. Now, both of them, I don't rock with neither one of the parties, bro. But I'm for my people and I'm conservative for my people. So I can see how some of us line up, but what they pushing over there with the conservative side, with the I feel like it's a hustle.
But my perception of this, I'm not a Republican neither. I'm an independent individual because I have an independent mind frame.
Mm-hmm.
I can think for myself. I don't have to be a part of nothing. In life, I feel like, God made me who he made me. And I don't have a feeling or a sense of needing to belong to nothing. But I see people don't want to be a part of whatever you have going on if you're not a part of what they got going on. People don't want to contribute to your success if you don't be obedient to what they have going on. When I think about street culture, gang activities and things, if you're in the streets and you ain't a part of this organization, we're not involved with you. If you're in politics and you're not a part of this party, we don't want to be involved with you. When you go to college, we can help you further along in life if you want to become part of this sorority or fraternity.
Oh yeah, the sororities and fraternities. And you know what's crazy about that? They all become Democrat. If all of them sororities, fraternities, they all become Democrat. It's all in cahoots, man. It's to the point that where I'm like this. If you repping something, I don't trust you. I don't care if it's a fraternity, sorority, Democrat. You can't be trusted because it's too much structure there. It's too much ways where you can get paid and funnel stuff. So we can't trust people unless they, like the Black Panther Party, what taught us that they were the Black Panther Party and it was for the people. Politics. I'm about natural law. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I want to hear what she said.
Even in the police academy, it's certain groups and structures of people that, want you to become a part of their thing. People identify with black when there's no such thing as black. Also, people identify as white in these groups and these things. And I feel like, God made me perfect. He made me whole. He made me happy to be able to contribute to anything that the world has to offer. He made me where I can talk to white people. I can talk to black people. I can talk to people in different countries from Paris, Italy, Australia, Africa, whatever. It doesn't matter, man. We all human beings first. I look at the root of things first before I create the separation or the division. So, she spoke about a lot of important things during this viral moment. She spoke about the 1924 Immigration Act, the 1965 Hart-Celler Act.
Yeah, Ray, you said it. It's all it's all secret societies when you unpack it. Yeah, it's all controlled secret societies. It's already controlled. But I was talking too much before playing the video. No, it's good. We hearing it though, fam. I want to hear the video though.
Mistress King 1991 letter to Congress
I want to
about
hear what she
immigration.
said.
And I have those things ready to talk about, because I didn't know about those acts that she spoke about in this, and I'm gonna read them to y'all because I feel like it's valuable information. But let me shut up, man, and let's get into the conversation. Let's go.
Course, a godless party, because there is no such thing, and I mean no such thing as a trans child. We have
What's
confused
up, family?
children
Des.
enabling adults.
Appreciate you for tapping in.
Followed by Carolina Rodriguez.
I appreciate everybody too talking about that. That the paperwork, the contract we trying to sign for the group, man, to get everybody on to make sure we secure. We, shout out to Des, William Johnson, everybody, the whole family, y'all. We got all y'all in here today. But let's keep it going. I want to hear what she's saying.
Good afternoon, Council. When I first announced my run for Congress, I had this random white woman, liberal, walk up to me and ask, well, what about you isn't Democrat? To which I responded, well, besides my skin color, what about me is Democrat? And it was at that very moment that she realized that God gave her enough common sense to ask me about my values. Now, don't get me wrong, I was raised to vote Democrat down the ballot, so when I first started, I would say things like, I'm a Republican, but I'm not a conservative. But now I know all too well I am a full-fledged, hardcore.
Bro, for some reason, it got like an echo on it. Y'all hear that? Let me see if I can find it, family. We're going to have to play yours. I can't even find it. There's a meeting on April 1st. Let me try this, family.
When I first announced my run for Congress, I had this random white woman, liberal, walk up to me and ask, well, what about you isn't Democrat? To which I responded, well, besides my skin color, what about me is Democrat? And it was at that very moment that she realized that God gave her enough common sense to ask me about my values. Now, don't get me wrong, I was raised to vote Democrat down the ballot. So when I first started, I would say things like, I'm a Republican, but I'm not a conservative. But now I know all too well I am a full-fledged, hardcore conservative, and I'm proud of it. I mean, my favorite saying is I was born Black, not Democrat. But in all seriousness, whenever I began to think for myself politically, the choice was easy. I mean, why would I want to belong to a party whose mission is to infringe on the Second Amendment, as if a criminal would ever participate in something like a mandatory buyback? Why would I want to belong to and endorse a godless party? Because there is no such thing, and I mean no such thing, as a trans child. We have confused children and sick enabling adults. Why would I want to belong to a party that takes pride in shedding innocent blood? Number one, as if that's not what God hates. Number two, as if there's not a black market for baby organs. And number three, as if abortion clinics didn't start in the hood. Because if you think Trump is bad, you should research exactly who Margaret Sanger was. But speaking of the Black community, why would I want to belong to a party who's responsible for the foundation of the Triple K? But it's not just that. Supposedly in the 1900s, the party switched, right? But what never changed, what I noticed never changed, is Democrats' love for immigration and how they have always prioritized that over the Black community. I mean, imagine every single Democrat leader helping you joke about what a Black job is in 2024, exposing your ignorance on 1924 and how imperative the Immigration Act of that year was, how it was all reversed in 1965 with the Hart-Celler Act, how Congress refuses the advice of the Rockefeller Commission and the Hesburgh Commission, and how to this day, they refuse to adopt the Barbara Jordan blueprint, validating every single thing that Dr. Claude Anderson spoke of generally, but specifically what Mrs. King spoke of in 1991 with her letter to Congress. Now, look, I'm not saying that the Republican Party is perfect. No, nobody's perfect. What I'm saying is I saw with Malcolm X when he said that the liberals were the worst thing that could ever happen to the Western Hemisphere, but y'all ignore that, just like how y'all ignore LBJ saying, and I quote, I'm going to have Negroes voting Democrat for the next 200 years, and by God, 60 years later, I see no sign of recourse, but rest assured your vote is your voice, even if it is a whisper.
Dang, I'm impressed. Is it more? Did I just get only 2 minutes? Trev, was it more? I want to go. So is she claiming that she's not claiming as a Democrat? What did y'all get from that? Is she claiming that she's not repping a Democrat or a Republican? Because I like that. If that's where she going, 1924 Immigration Act, 1965, Hart-Sealer Act, 1991, Coretta Scott King letter to the Congress, all about the effects of immigration on the Black community. You know what's crazy? Because Martin Luther King, one of his last speeches, he said that he was like, hey, you know, they're giving free land to Europeans and having them come here and they get loans and grants and stuff like that. And I think they're doing the same thing with like how we having people in our corner stores. It's making sense now. They wanted to stop the Black Wall Street. So if people had ownership already in our communities, it's hard for us to kind of own stuff in our communities when everybody already selling us stuff. She put, I heard independent. I appreciate her being independent. I appreciate her being independent. And I like how she rocking the locks too. They got some more for her.
When I first announced my run for
It gotta be more, man. I'm not Black, I'm Democrat. Let me hit it with let me see, man, if we can. Hey.
why would I want to belong to a party that takes pride in shedding innocent blood? Number one is that that's not what God hates. Number two is that there's not a black market for baby organs. Number three is that abortion clinics didn't start good. Because if you think Trump is bad, you should research exactly who Margaret Sanger was. But speaking of the black community, why would I want to belong to a party who's responsible for the foundation of the triple K? But it's not just that. Supposedly in the 1900s, party.
So she's saying that they're responsible for the creation. Oh, your video was just 3 minutes also? Okay. They're focused on the creation of the triple K. I'm starting to think that the Democrat Party is on the racist stuff that's going on. I think they're trying to do that to keep the black people on to the Democrat Party. Even though I feel like the the right got the racist too. But I do feel like it gotta be, it's something going on there with the KKK and Black Lives Matter, and you know what I'm saying? It's like it's something going on. But y'all know I was saying on my channel how it's me, Lord. I was saying on my channel how you put they were. For real. I think they're a part of that. They have to be, because it just makes so much sense for them. Keep them at fear, keep fear coming so they'll come to us, because we the ones out here protecting them. Y'all get what I'm saying? It's like if we keep fearing them, if using fear monger, they gonna have to run to the Democratic Party to help them. So yeah, they think they slick. They think they slick, but yeah, Trey, that was a good one right there, bro. Peyton Jackson, I'm gonna look forward to her, man. She's speaking that gospel. We may have to bring her. We may have to bring her on the show, man. Do a show with her, have her on. But I'm gonna be looking out for her, man. She's spitting that real. What y'all think about Peyton Jackson? Let me know what y'all think about her speech. Do she sound like one of them ones? My bad, man. I gotta take off. Do she sound like one of them ones? Two parties, one Jewish, the other white. You're right. It's two white people really fighting each other. We just in the middle. They using us like the soldiers. I'm with you on that, Mickey. Yeah, Mickey, me and you think alike. We think alike. I be saying that, but I don't be wanting to say it. But yeah, y'all, that's how I feel. But yeah, that was a good one, Trail. I appreciate you bringing that content together. And your tape was killer, man. That tape was killer, bro. That tape was killer. But yeah, it is too white. I was saying on my channel, because like Officer Tatum always talking about black people, man, y'all doing this in the hood. And it's like, I feel like it's a reason why our communities like this. It's a reason why they ain't running like Black Wall Street back in the days. It's a reason why we going to prison. It ain't for no gain. Somebody's gaining is money to be generated. Yeah, it sounds like they ain't gonna let it get to. I be on that, Mickey. I don't feel like the system is not allowing you. The money is not gonna funnel to you unless you're going into their system. Dog, you better shut up. You're going into their system, it ain't gonna funnel to you. So it's like you're gonna be at a disadvantage trying to preach for your people. Yeah, you got to stand on the truth and stand on your sword, bro. You right. But as we see, like, look at who I be showing y'all, like the Officer Tatum, the Hodge twins. Their narrative dominates the market, bro. So it's tough for somebody that's going to be speaking like Peyton Jackson to get into the algorithm when they already got narratives that's dominating the market. The idea is to blame black people for everything. Blame them for their communities. Blame them for everything that's happened, that's bad, that's happening, that's going on for them. Even though they own the Democrat Party, they own the record labels, they own the private prisons, they own the healthcare field, where they getting all of these billions from. But they make sure everybody else blame the black people. Don't point the finger up here at us where these billions is getting made, because you're going to expose everything. That's the real play that nobody really going to talk about. But that's what I do on my channel. I'm here to expose that. I'm here to let everybody know that you got to open up your eyes. You got to understand, you know, how this money is being made. It's a lot of money being generated off of the black community. Just look at rap. You know, I was a big fan of Ice Cube, and I say that on my channel. I was like, yo, I was a big fan of Ice Cube. But once I figured out that he was a part of the gangster rap that got introduced when we was talking about politics, we know the play now, and we see where we at right now. They look at what we doing and they like, yeah, this is going to cause problems because we're eating off of these people. And if they keep speaking this and bringing awareness to this, we're going to get exposed. So we got to get the exposure off of us. This is how they keep everything intact and keep them divided and confused with sports and play, right? Playing sports. We got players crying getting into the NFL. Oh, I made it. Damn, you know what I'm saying? They get to NFL. And now, look, I don't want to knock them for getting their money. They getting their money. But to understand the bigger picture, if we would have been segregated, we would have had the NFL. You know, because we was already had planes, hospitals, and everything else. There's no way we would have been like, we would have joined into something else. Push her voice in whatever district she's running because Black America will need her. Yeah, the most powerful weapon of the sword of the truth, stand on it. Yeah. So that's the agenda that they pushing, bro. So they want to blame us for the drugs in the community when it was a guy, Gary Webb. I need to bring him up. I'm gonna bring him up real quick. Gary Webb exposed the CIA for deliberately already having drugs and having control of shipping them to America. But soon as when the spotlight came on them, he went missing. Ain't nobody been talking about that since. But anytime the spotlight get on them to where it's going to expose stuff, it hurts us. Yeah, man, I'm about to call it in a little bit. I just want to go over a little bit of Gary Webb real quick. The guy who exposed the CIA. And then we're going to talk about some this guy right here. I'll play this.
In the late 1970s, Anastasio Somoza, the dictator of the small Central American country of Nicaragua, was overthrown. Somoza was overthrown and was replaced by a group called the Sandinistas. They had been called the Sandinista rebels, and they were led by a man named Daniel Ortega. Ortega was a communist. He called himself a socialist, but he was pro-Soviet and pro-Cuban and received a great deal of aid from both of those countries. The United States at the time was led by President Ronald Reagan, and as historians will tell you, Reagan was absolutely obsessed with communism, and he promoted something called the domino theory. The domino theory held that if one single Central American country fell to the communists, the other countries in Central America would fall like dominoes, leading right up to the US border. So Reagan and the people around him set out to stop the communists from taking control of Nicaragua. They did that by announcing their support for the Contra rebels. The Contras were conservatives, right-wingers, in some cases even fascists or military officers who were disgruntled with Ortega. They decided to take to the jungles with American weapons and fight the new communist government. The problem with that, though, was that the Democratic-controlled Congress at the time passed an amendment that forbade the government from spending any money to provide weapons, ammunition, or weapons systems to the Contra rebels. So how do you get around that? Well, there was a director at the National Security Council at the time by the name of Colonel Oliver North. North decided to take this thing on his own. He did not report back to his superiors at the Pentagon. He worked closely with the CIA. And here's the plan they came up with. They would sell weapons to America's arch enemy, Iran. The weapons would be paid for in cash. The cash would be turned over to a Saudi businessman and arms dealer named Adnan Khashoggi. Khashoggi would put the money in a bank in Cyprus and then would transfer it to the Contra rebels. There was a middleman there, of course. It was a series of arms dealers, mostly in Romania, Bulgaria, and elsewhere around the world, that were able to provide these arms with little to no notice coming to the attention of anybody who follows these things. Keep in mind also that this entire operation was off the books. It was supposed to be secret, not just secret from the public, of course, but secret from the congressional oversight committees, secret from the President of the United States himself, secret from the FBI and from the Pentagon. Nobody was supposed to know about this except Oliver North and the CIA. And so the CIA involved Adnan Khashoggi because he was an old friend of the organization. He became a billionaire by selling arms around the world. What better person to do something like this? Somebody who already has a lot of money, somebody who's not going to raise eyebrows by transferring hundreds of millions of dollars, somebody who's going to use foreign banks just as a matter of course. So imagine Adnan Khashoggi takes money from the Iranians, puts that money in a Cypriot bank, transfers the money from the Cypriot bank to international arms manufacturers, takes the arms from those manufacturers, turns them over to the CIA. The CIA puts them on unmarked, unlicensed, and unregistered planes and sends them to the Contra rebels in Nicaragua. It sounded like the perfect idea. In fact, it was a terrible idea, and it was a violation of the law, many, many laws. But Adnan Khashoggi was someone who the CIA could trust to keep his mouth shut, take his 10% commission, and do as he was told. In the end, the Iranians got weapons, they paid cash, the cash was used to buy more weapons that were given to the Contra rebels. So the Contras began fighting Daniel Ortega and the Sandinistas. The U.S., meanwhile, was doing things like mining the harbors of Managua, the capital of Nicaragua, to put pressure on the Sandinistas. And the fight was really raging in the jungle. At the same time, by the mid-1980s, cocaine began arriving in the United States,
That's what they
ostensibly
is, fam.
from Colombia, but really making its way through Nicaragua. Now, that cocaine, for whatever reason, ended up in Los Angeles. And in Los Angeles, it was turned into crack cocaine. And we had never heard of crack cocaine before, 1984. And it took off like wildfire. An investigative journalist by the name of Gary Webb decided to look into the advent of the crack epidemic in Los Angeles. And that investigation led him right back to Nicaragua. So here's what he found. He found that the Contra rebels were not one monolithic unit. They were divided into northern rebels and southern rebels. More importantly, he found that the rebels were largely in the pay of the CIA. Now, the Drug Enforcement Administration was also present in Nicaragua at the time. And remember, it's DEA's job to stop the flow of drugs to the United States. The CIA, though, doesn't care about drugs. In many cases, it's perfectly happy to allow drugs into the United States if it helps them to fight communism, or contemporaneously, to fight terrorism. Drugs are DEA's problem. The CIA is not going to trouble itself with drugs. And so these drugs were making their way to California. Gary Webb traveled to Nicaragua, where he interviewed dozens of Contra rebels, including Contra leaders. He also interviewed members of the Sandinista government who told him, look, there's a drug problem, but it has nothing to do with us. It's your people, the Contras, that are bringing these drugs to the United States. Gary Webb returned to California with notebooks full of information, and he began to write a series of articles for the San Jose Mercury News. His investigation resulted in 7 separate articles, and in those articles, he said that the drugs were coming from Nicaragua and making their way to Los Angeles, that there were 2 people in particular. One was named Oscar Blandon. Oscar Blandon was a senior Contra leader who was in charge of this cocaine operation. The other was a major drug importer based in Los Angeles. He also said that the CIA was allowing this to happen. He did not say that this was a CIA operation, although that's how the CIA took it. Gary Webb said that the CIA was turning a blind eye and was actually stymieing the work that the DEA was trying to do to keep the drugs out of the United States. As you might imagine, this series of articles created an absolute firestorm, especially within the Los Angeles Times, the Washington Post, and the New York Times. We now know that as soon as these articles were published, the Los Angeles Times called together 17 journalists to pick apart and to refute Gary Webb's articles. Now, they focused on things that were silly and nonsensical. For example, Webb was a little bit weak in his analysis on the actual origins of the crack epidemic. That's not the point of the story, though. The point of the story was that the CIA was allowing cocaine into the country. Right. The Los Angeles Times, though, said, well, he got it wrong about Los Angeles. Crack arrived in Los Angeles a little bit earlier than Gary Webb said. Who cares? But this is something that Gary Webb and the San Jose Mercury News had to deal with. On the other coast, the Washington Post and the New York Times essentially said on their front pages that Gary Webb had made the entire story up. Walter Pincus, an esteemed reporter for the Washington Post, got the side of the CIA and put that on the very front page of the Washington Post, saying that none of this was true. This was just an anti-CIA tirade, and that nobody should pay any attention to it. Well, Pincus was wrong. Pincus probably knew he was wrong, but published anyway. The bottom line here is that both the Washington Post and the New York Times leapt as quickly as they could to the defense of the CIA. Gary Webb's editors then decided to double down. They decided to finance another trip to Nicaragua that Gary Webb would take so that he could answer some of the questions that these other major newspapers had. So he went to Nicaragua, not once, not twice, but 4 times. In the end, the paper decided that There wasn't enough new information to warrant another series, but they were confident that Webb had told the truth. Still, on the very same day, the Washington Post and the New York Times finally wrote a coordinated article saying that Gary Webb was a liar, that he was a fabricator, and that he should be fired. It was then that the Mercury News decided maybe they should take a step back from Webb, and they did. In a dispute, he ended up resigning. Now, the sad postscript to this is this was a guy who had a storied career in investigative journalism. He was a co-winner of the Pulitzer Prize. He had done investigative journalism in Cincinnati, Ohio, in Cleveland, in Columbus, Ohio, and then out to California, where he made a real name for himself in San Jose. But he resigned from that position. He freelanced for a little while. He worked for the state for a few months and then decided to move to Denver, Colorado and start over. But depression overcame him. Finally, Gary Webb rented a cheap motel room and reportedly, allegedly, put a gun in his mouth and pulled the trigger. A lot of people think that he actually didn't commit suicide. His family does, and the coroner did. But there are questions surrounding his death. In the end, it was the CIA, the New York Times, the Washington Post, and the Los Angeles Times that ruined him. There are reporters now who have retired from the LA Times who have spoken publicly about their effort to ruin Gary Webb and his career. They express regret, and they admit freely that that's exactly what they did. They ruined his career, and by ruining his career, they ended his life. Later on, there were investigations in Washington. The CIA Inspector General conducted an investigation. The Justice Department Inspector General conducted an independent investigation. And even the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence conducted an investigation. And what did they find? They found that everything Gary Webb said was true. The sad part of this is that no one at the CIA was ever prosecuted. No one was ever even fired or suspended for trafficking cocaine into the United States. But that's how the CIA works. Remember, the CIA mantra is we're the good guys. The good guys don't get punished for doing their job. But Gary Webb was a good guy, and he certainly was punished for doing his job. Hey, thanks for watching this report. There is so much more that I'd like to dive into, but
Dang, so y'all see there, she put her caller. For real. Yeah, they took that man out, man. So now the same play is being ran. They running the same play on them. So it's just crazy how they fund people to go to war with to get control. That's what they do. They sit back and see who got power, and they'll go fund some people in your country. They ain't gonna take nobody over there from our country. They're gonna fund people. Same what they did with the Black Panther Party. They created the US, I think they was called the United Slaves Group organization. They'll fund them, tell them what to do, and they'll take people out. So yeah, man. She put I call bullshit. Yeah, but that's crazy, man. The man committed suicide. Like, really? No, he ain't commit no suicide. So those the real boogeymans. We know that. Straw man. An intentional misrepresented proposition that is set up because it is easier to defeat that than an opponent's real argument. That's crazy, man. But yeah, he exposed it. So, but this is what they do, man, when people be exposed in their situation. They got to get you up out of here. So, it's crazy. But let me know what y'all think, man, about this. It's crazy, but I just want to tap in on that with y'all. That's just crazy, the Gary Webb story. He gonna go down as one of the greats. But yeah, they still running the same play right now. The same thing still going on. They sending that stuff in there. It's too much money to be made. Billions. It's billions and billions. I remember first hearing about this. The prices of cocaine went up to like 30,000. I was talking to my homies in the hood about this, and it went up to like $30,000, and it was like crazy. Like they definitely is involved in making money. So there y'all go, man. But we're gonna get into the group stuff, man. I'm gonna be having some stuff I'm gonna be sending to y'all with the NDAs and non-compromise agreements. And we got this finance, this loan finance and helping black businesses out with loans. We got some ideas we trying to put together. So make sure y'all stay tapped into the group, the Discord. We got some real things going. Mickey, I emailed you too, Mickey. You got to check your email. But we definitely got some big things going, man. We're going to be able to put some ideas, but make sure tomorrow I'm going to have that for y'all. Going to be later tomorrow in the afternoon. Everything going to be ready. But I want to get everybody's opinion on how we going to issue it out. So we're going to speak on that. But, man, this was a great show, man. Wrapping it up, talking to y'all. I know it's always love when the family get together. I will be going live this week, probably Wednesday or Thursday. I'll be going. Then it'll be back to the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. But I do want to schedule a time just on Discord where we can wrap it up, run some ideas by each other. Good night, Cat. Good night, everybody, man. I know it's late, but yeah, I want to run some ideas by y'all, so y'all be looking forward to information in the chat and what we're gonna do. Shout out to T Beezy. Shout out to Mickey Jones, man. Des, everybody who tapped in today. We're gonna keep it going. You know, I always appreciate y'all checking in now. So yeah, y'all make sure y'all keep contacting the Discord. We're gonna keep it going. I appreciate y'all. Always support your people. Y'all know how we do. Peace, love, health, wealth, better understanding self. Google or Yahoo? Google. The Gmail you sent me. So check it out. Hit my email back. Let me know what you think. But yeah, y'all just keep checking out on the Discord, man. I'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace, love. Y'all stay safe out there. I'll see you on the next one.